everybody knows except for Mary Ellen. I want to talk to you about my road to having 3 level 1 rubies. And it's been a really, really fun road for me. And it wasn't at first because the vision that I had in my brain was that all of my best friends and my family were all going to link arms and we were going to all do this together. But I was really wrong about that. But I didn't let that stop me. I could have, right? I could have gotten really depressed and been like, oh my God, this really stinks. No one's joining me. You know, my family they don't support me. They don't want to do this with me. Woe is me, woe is me. But I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to let them get in my way. I'm not going to let them get in my head and in my heart. I knew that this opportunity was well worth the work and worth the wait. So I just kept doing it. And luckily, God put these incredible humans in my life. So that makes my job a lot easier. And it just really feels like family. I have so much just gratitude for them. And I always tell them how much I appreciate them, right? The journey there, just going up every day with passion, the same way, knowing that eventually they were going to come and just never, ever quitting. And then when they did come, I got them involved in the community right away. I shared everything that I knew. I poured into them. I educated them on the opportunity and our amazing comp plan, of course, and all the generous benefits that Plexus gives us. And I helped them see the vision of what this could be, poured my belief into them and of course, celebrated them like crazy. And I encouraged them every step of the way, and just never, ever took them for granted. Never bossed them around, but always just provided advice and direction and encouragement. That's so important. All 3 of them, Agnes and Kelly and Kim, are so different. But I think the one thing that they have in common is that they're all diamond bound. That's for sure. And I can't wait for the day to be, just because seeing them rise, it creates more pride in me than actually seeing myself rise. And they are just incredible leaders and friends and partners, and their teams are so lucky to have them as leaders. And they will definitely be duplicating the same caliber of leaders in their downlines. I know that. So I feel really blessed to have them on my team. And I thank you ladies so much for all that you do. I'll thank Kim in person because she's like Amy said, she's on a plane right now and obviously could not be on this call, but really just appreciate your people, pour into them, educate them, take care of them, be there for them. And your team will grow. It will grow and it will flourish, but again, you have to have that belief in yourself and that help your team build the belief in themselves as well. So I think next is going to be Kelly or Agnes.
Can we ask questions?
Of course.
Okay, you were talking about community. So how do you if you don't know, because you didn't really know them that well, did you?
No.
Yes. So how do you get them to be can you explain to me and to everyone else, how do you get people into the community? Because I think a lot of people are hesitant to do that. And how do you do that? And where do you put them? Do you put them on the team page? What do you do?
Lots of ways. So always on the team, the team page and the customer page, for sure. And then, I start threads. I introduce them to you, to Amy, to the upline. I invite them to Zooms, all of the things. I invite them, whether they show up I'll just keep inviting them until they do show up. Right. And it's really important for them to be a part of this community and to feel the support and the love, because this is not something that you want to do by yourself. You do not want to be an island by yourself. Even if you're just taking the products, it's just not the same experience. So I think the community really, really adds to the whole experience. And, if I could, I would have everybody involved, but not everybody wants to get involved. You just have to encourage and invite.
One thing that I just thought of, Yvonne, on that is Sandy Williamson, who is under Monica Massey. She was on our wellness call because our wellness Zoom a couple weeks ago. Some of you may remember she's a nurse.
Yeah.
And she's not on Facebook, but I think I talked her into getting her an account. But anyway, so she loved our community so much just from the thread that we created of that wellness Zoom, that she came to an event in Raleigh last week and met all of us and loved it. She could not thank me enough. That is actually a perfect example, Yvonne.
Yeah.
How you say you ask.
Right. And I think some people get intimidated by that, but I mean, once they come in, they realize that we don't bite, that we're not intimidating. We're really just nice people that really care. But, it's hard going into a group of people that you don't know. Right. It's just, we have to get them in there first so that they can really understand and, feel our vibe.
Thanks, Yvonne.
You're welcome.
Agnes,
Can I say something?
you say something? Sure.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Sure.
Next time, I'm going to invite my whole team to rally.
Oh my God.
If Julie does not come down, I'm inviting my team.
I love it. I love
Are
it.
you picking me up first?
Who said that?
Agnes.
Agnes? Aren't you on the east side?
You
just need to drive up. Tina, we had this conversation. You're gonna get me from Jersey.
Yeah,
And Agnes is gonna meet us. It was me.
Road
Yeah.
Jackie. Yeah.
I'm actually afraid for that.
I wrote that down in my notes.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Invite team to rally.
Well, I was definitely waiting for her to come in to Coquette on Thursday night. I really thought she was going to come through the door because I take her seriously.
You should.
I will be there. Vegas next month.
Yeah.
Vegas. All right, Agnes, are you ready or you want me to go first?
I could go, honey. Whatever you want. You want me to go first?
You go for it.
I'm always ready and prepared for anything. You know that.
I'm not.
Well, I wanted to thank everybody for thank you to the girls for inviting me to speak. I just love, like Yvonne was saying, I just love this community. It's a blessing, and I feel like even though a lot of us haven't met, we're like sisters. It's a really unbelievable tribe to be a part of. I wanted to start. I kind of feel like sometimes people say I'm supposed to be speaking about my road to Ruby. Sometimes people say, well, the timing was right. You got into the business at the right time. For me, I kind of feel like that's not the case. You can get into anything at a certain time. I kind of feel like when I was pursuing the business opportunity, Plexus kind of spoke to me. I was looking for something, and I was looking for something to fill something in my life, and I wanted to be a part of Plexus for myself. There was a void in my life, and I think that it's important for new people who get involved in the business immediately, and I probably didn't do this. That's why I want to, tell you about this, is to find out what your why is. That is, whether you're single or mother or grandmother, we have all kinds of people in this business, and you can never be too old or too young to find out what you want out of life. And let me ask you, if you write that down and you ask yourself that, it's not easy to answer. You can say, oh, I want this materialistic things. It's not easy. I have to really dig deep and think about that. And the second thing that comes with answering what your why is your belief. For me, in the beginning, and unfortunately, Yvonne didn't have her best friends and her sisters. I did. I had a huge community join me immediately. So yes, that's why I rose up quickly. However, I was still working on myself and working on my belief. So it's important in the beginning that you dive deep into who you are, your belief of Plexus. Of course, we all know the products are amazing and they work and they you do all kinds of amazing things for families and children and people. But you need to build your belief up, whether you're new or, and I know Yvonne and Amy and Michelle, they are constantly working on themselves. We have unbelievable diamond documentaries. We have trainings every day. We listen to podcasts. Now, I mean, I wasn't a huge reader, which was a huge mistake in the beginning. Now I am, and I just don't have a lot of time. So what I do is I listen to Audible, and she had to like force me. She's like, you have to listen to Audible, and it makes a huge difference because you have that, you're constantly talking to yourself. You don't want the negative to creep in. Now, so reading, I want to talk about reading. You have to be coachable, which is a huge part of it. You have to kind of take a really good look at yourself. Sometimes you don't want to hear things that maybe you're doing on a daily basis, or you have to be willing to take pointers, because when you're growing a team, it's a responsibility. You want to be accountable, and you want to be the example for that team. Sorry, hold on, my notes. I had my notes downstairs. You want to be the example for your team of what I do. And, sometimes we mess up, and you don't do this every day, but you learn. You have to wake up the night before. I plan my day, and I do my IPAs the next day, which is called income producing activities. You prepare them, you post every day, and you be the example for your team, so you're duplicatable. It's important. People are watching you. People are watching you every single day. Sometimes if I'll post something and nobody will say anything for a week, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything if they don't like it, if they don't send me a message. People are watching what you do on a daily basis. I'll have somebody not even say anything on social media, and they'll call me up, they'll leave me a message without even saying a word, and not even a thumbs up. So you have to, every day when you're posting, be accountable and be relatable. People are reading what you're doing. They're watching what you're doing. You're an example. Hold on. When I'm signing somebody, another important thing, and Yvonne says this to me all the time, and she said it before, you don't want to leave people on an island. You don't want to leave people on an island by themselves. You have to plug them into the business, plug them into the system, get them into their certain groups that we have, make sure our customer service is impeccable for a reason, because you want to make sure that they are cared for, loved on. You're calling them not every day. I was doing that in the beginning. I said to Michelle Pillis, I'm calling her every day. She's like, no, that's too much. So now it's maybe once a week. So, you want to make sure that people don't feel alone, because if your people feel like they're alone, they're not going to succeed. They're not going to succeed. You have to make sure that you plug them into a system. Plug them into our community that we have. We have an unbelievable community. Why not use it? The 3 R's, recruit, rank ups, and retention is huge. Exactly that instance. You want to make sure that you're taking care of everybody. Let's see, what else did I want to talk to you about? Make sure that you're sharing and you're doing your reach outs. I do that all the time. It's super important that if you haven't heard from somebody, reach out to them. And if you have somebody that's a level 1 that's not taking care of their people, you have to go ahead and maybe get onto that person. Care for, that's still your person. Level 2, level 3, level 4. Customer follow, expand your friend groups. That's another thing that I've been doing. I know Jackie's doing it too. You can go on to any friend groups, expand as friending people, making sure that you're liking on people's things, getting into their lives. You might not sign this ambassador for a year from now, but they're going to see that you care. So you have to form a relationship with that person. See, love on your people and your team. Show that you care. Attend to everything. It's super important. Try to be there for everything because you don't know what you're going to get in that one evening, that one Monday, Monday night group huddle. You don't know what you're going to get. Always try to attend to everything and try to take notes as best you can. Try to take care of yourself. And the very last thing, well, two things: pray patience, don't quit, and most of all, have fun. If you're not having fun, you have to rethink what you're doing and don't take things so seriously. This is supposed to be a fun group where you're supposed to have a good time. If you're not having fun, you have to rethink the way you're doing things. Thank you.
I'm not sure if I have much more to add, but I'll tell you my way of ranking up or my steps. And Agnes hit on it. There was a void. I had a void. And that was how I started basically just taking the products. I was lost. And my word for the year of 2020, before I even started Plexus, was passion. I wanted to find passion in life again. I was floundering, looking forward, going to be a empty nester here coming this fall, and just not really sure what I wanted to do. And so I started taking the products because that's what really helped. And I've always been one that the network marketing is not new to me, but to be successful, like it's always been my husband that's been he's the PR guy, he's the talker. And so I've had to put a lot of that behind me and change my mindset and go after what I want. And that why is so important. And I think that was one of the biggest breakthroughs that I had was a call with Jamie, Laura, and Yvonne. So those 3 ways, putting people in 3 ways, different personalities, sometimes just pulls out, what's the fear you're fighting? What are you hiding from? And so I had to find out that I do deserve this. I'm working hard, I'm sharing, but I'm a helper and I like to bring people with me. So from the start, I had that family support, and I went silver and senior silver in the same month because I also had, as soon as my 2 of my silvers went, or 2 of my level 1s right away went silver that same month. So, I did that in April, and Julie and Casey both went silver that month. So I started developing them, and I wanted them to be successful at it too. And so having that accountability partner, my daughter's my accountability partner for products, and basically just the health of the family. Like, what are you taking? How are you feeling? Because actually all but one of my kids take the product. So that's 6 out of 7 of us that are on product. So that's another reason why doing the business is important, because it does help cover the cost of our products. And then Julie just sort of took off because it was the sharing. It's me plus 3. I love that saying because it's easy to get your other people who just get in and say, well, I'm not going to do this as a business. And I'm like, that's okay. But if you post, me plus 3, just find 3 accountability partners that do this with you. And so I just sort of counted, it's been a while, but when I went Ruby, I tried to thank my team, and there are at least 26 of them on my team that have at least 1 level 1. And so it was pretty quick for me to rank up to gold. So May I was gold. So within 2 months, I had 3 rank ups. Then sort of through all the training and personal development, I just kept showing up. Team calls, doing 3-way calls, doing the events, doing the convention was a big breakthrough, even though it was virtual and time consuming, and at that point I was only 2 months in. I'm like, I'm doing this. And, that's hard. It's middle of June and you're virtual sitting, in front of a computer trying to tell everybody else, just stay away. I'm trying to absorb as much as what I can. But, from there, it was those speakers and list, like writing down all the books like they all wrote, and the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. And we had a team call just actually last week on the 5-second rule, just changing the mindset of, and so it's like developing not just myself, but developing my team in mindset and personal growth. Because that's where I think you won't have as many quitters. And we've had a lot of attrition because those are the people who are not feeling connected. The ones that do connect, show up to a couple trainings, or just get on our smaller team call, seem to at least learn more about different products, even if they're, ready to switch from triplex or try something different. So we do that at least once a month. I also have done one-on-one trainings through Zoom. I do signups through Zoom. So that was an investment. I guess once I said I'm doing this, I felt like I needed to do some of the investments. If that was personal trainings or the Zoom Pro, has been beneficial. I use it for personal and for business. So it's been amazing because I'm away from a lot of my team. So what else? Let's see. Community. I am a big connector. And I've loved this so much to be able to reconnect with people I haven't talked to for years. And I have people all over the US. Hardly anybody in Texas because it is very well known in Texas. And so posting to Facebook, it sort of opened up a whole new realm of people that I hadn't spoken to for a while. And basically it's that Frank's list, develop that Frank's list. But I started to get to that point of cold calling, and I didn't like it. And I also felt that there was a little bit of hustle towards the end of the month. And you can ask Yvonne, I'm like, they kept saying, you're so close to Ruby. I'm like, that's okay. If it doesn't happen authentically, I don't want to be there. And because, I connect all month long. I don't like to wait to the end. And especially because now I'm back to work. I have to do, not the nooks and crannies because I do plan my time, but it's in the evenings and I'm not always hitting everybody, but I'm somehow connecting either through a text or voice message, invite. Because you get a different group show up every once in a while because they every once in a while will say, I have a void and I have time. I'm going to listen in. Had a new girl last Monday on the call and, she's been doing product, but wavering, wanting to get off. Invite anytime they start to waver or not sure what they want to do, invite them to some kind of event and just tell them I'm going to be there and just be a fly on the wall. So community, the other thing with the convention and the trainings, the peer training that I had with Ryan Flatt last July was great. It was a little bit difficult because you have to find time to do that. So I would totally encourage that. I want to do it again. I'm finding the time. So the other tools is organization. So I was really good about organization because I wanted my team to be able to come to me to find something. If that was photos, if it was graphics, if it was what the incentives were. So I developed a Google Drive and shared it with everyone. And I try to keep it up to date. So if anybody wants more information, that I can always share the Google Drive with anyone. But then the Plexus Engage app came out and that was a game changer. I think about anybody I shared a sample with joined. So if you haven't done the Engage app, that'd be the first thing. It's free. The Engage app is free and the samples are free. And if you do trainings or webinars that they call them, every once in a while, they'll give 3 samples free if you show up for their webinars. The Plexus Academy community does that. So I don't think I haven't purchased any samples on my own. They just keep adding up. So, and lastly, I guess now, I love being Ruby, but there is attrition, so we're still building. And my thing is meeting the people where they're at. I know why my people are falling off, or I know why they're taking a break or pushing out their orders. If they do it, I reach out. Sometimes I can save them, sometimes I can't. I had one last month cancel. She texts me, I'm canceling. Like, I'm canceling. I don't want to reorder. And all of a sudden there's an order back in for this month in 3 days. I'm like, wait, what's going on? And she's like, yeah, I think I need to give it a try again. She goes, but I don't really like the pink drink. So, okay, well, tell me what's going on. Well, and then it's just like, she'd never tried the other pink drink. She was always doing just the, the micro activating. So I'm like, how about the, hunger control? So it was just like, just talking her through some of that. But sometimes that connection, like, they'll ghost you until something's just not right. And it's just like, then they'll reach out. And that's what happened. So don't ever give up, because she's also having to renew her subscription. She's a renewal this month for the year. So she's doing it, starting over. And lastly, because I'm back to work and because of some of the trainings I have done, there's no more hustle. I am not losing sleep anymore over rank ups. And I have set some boundaries. Like, I can't be on the phone all the time. My phone doesn't work at work, at my school job. So there's a time and a place for, setting my boundaries at work and setting my time for Plexus too. So I guess that'd be my recommendation, because I'm still doing this while I'm working. So, and you can't do that. So someday I'm looking forward to that day of not, but for my own sanity reasons, I still like to work. Those are where my friendships are, and that's where I want to be. So I think I'm done. Anybody have any questions for any of us?
I do. I don't know if you said at the beginning, but how long did it take you to get to Ruby?
For me, it was a year.
Okay.
When I started the business, it was a year.
A year after you started, got it.
Yeah, I hit senior gold in July, which, was pretty much almost a rank up every month. I was gold for 2 months, and then senior gold, and just kept building. Like, the points were there. I probably could have hit Ruby last September, but like that attrition, like, I would have had to hustle. And I said I wasn't going to do that. And I just kept at it. And, November was very hard for me and my family, because actually, I'm trying to think if I signed anyone up in November. My husband went silver that month because I had COVID, and it wiped me out. And so, and didn't want to talk to anybody. So I helped him get to silver that month. And actually, my son underneath him had one. And so it was starting to really develop more people on my team. And I guess that's why I said I can't do this by myself. And Tina was on here. Tina, we hit, basically, Tina signed January 6th, I believe. And I had a conversation with her last summer. She had talked to Julie. So she's my level 2. And she just took off and showed up at my house that I knew about 2 days before her showing up here in Texas. So all the way from Ohio to Texas, 2 days before she came down with Julie, and we did training. We talked about it. We sat down, we went through, some training that day, the 3 of us, and she just took off, start sharing. And I think that's, she's almost to gold. We're going to get her to gold. And it's just helping everybody to get another leg, I think, is really what it is.
Thank you. That's amazing advice.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Jackie.
I have a question, Kelly. So like you, myself too, I work full time and I have to block out my hours for work. Plus, I don't ever like posting during the day because I do have a lot of colleagues that are on Facebook, and I don't want to get in that I'm running my business during the day. That's just not very good for business. So how many hours a week do you think you're really dedicating to Plexus?
I would say about 15 right now. sometimes more, sometimes less. This month has been hard just because I have a senior graduating and
Life is happening. Yeah.
but yeah, life is happening. And but it's like this. I'm 3 or 4 nights on Zoom calls, and trying to get a hold of people.
I
and
mean, if you
calling
think about it,
people.
that's not a lot of time.
It's not.
It's
And
not,
that's
you
why
know
I
what I
said,
mean? 15 hours a week is less than 2 hours a day, if that. Maybe one day you're 1 hour, but then the next day, yeah, I mean, it's not
Yeah.
that much. So
and I guess the one thing, I mean, Agnes talked a lot about it too. There's a ton of trainings, and I do listen to the podcast. Like I was vacuuming earlier and listening to podcasts because I can, I'm great at multitasking. But the thing is the action. You have to do the action. If you're not gonna pick up the phone call and be ready to call or talk to someone, and I think that's why I have the biggest disappointment is because I'm ready to talk and I'll walk and talk. I have hour conversations and get an hour walk in. Love that. But not everybody has that same mentality. And so
because they're not on Plexus yet.
well,
I was
a
just
lot
going
of
to
this
say
is
that. I said,
follow-ups.
Cal, the best feeling is when you get that phone call of somebody just having a breakthrough and you're helping that person change their life for their health. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just the best feeling, hands down.
I know I've heard this before, but what is the Me+3? I'm drawing a blank on that.
It's basically you going silver and you getting someone else to go silver. So it's me plus my 3 and then them plus 3. So
it's
I hate
good
to
to
say
get
this,
other
but
people.
that's how the triangle. So I didn't do it by myself. And I mean, as soon as I said I'm doing the business, I had 3 people. And 2 of my 3 had 3 people. And now my first leg of 3 people all are silver. So that's what it's like, me plus
Okay.
3, them plus 3. So that's how, and I could be more wide. I mean, and I'm not going to say, but Tina ended up going to Julie, but I know we had that conversation too. I have a big family, so we're sort of sharing that across. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Anybody else on that one? Yvonne? You got him there.
I wanted to ask Agnes, how long did it take you to get to Ruby from when you started sharing?
I started sharing on April 24th, and I was Ruby by August 31st of that same year. So 4 months.
4 months.
4 months. But it was like, once I started, it was a lot of excitement. I was excited and everybody else was excited. And I still am excited, as you could tell, but the products speak for themselves. I'm not going to say it wasn't hard. It was just not reinventing the wheel and following you, following Amy, doing all the things, doing what we needed to do. And I was very blessed to have my family behind me 100%, and my best friend and her family. So I'm really internally grateful for that. I mean, who knows, right? They was like, yeah, let's do this. And that was it. The rest is history.
It makes a difference. But so I got to Ruby in 16 months. Right. But then the momentum was there. So that's what, brought me up. But it took a while.
Actually, I want to chime in there with Amy and I think we got, Amy, didn't we both get there like in the, based on when we started like sharing, like 5 or 6 months, I think, to Ruby. Is that correct? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Right. So I guess the whole point of that is, you guys, that was 7 years ago. And Agnes just did it in 4. And Yvonne did it longer, but she had the momentum going. So I guess you never know like how you're gonna go. The key is just to go and don't quit. And
Right.
you guys, like Yvonne said, I think at the beginning, or Amy, somebody did, it doesn't matter where you're at now, you could rank above all of us. Like, it doesn't matter. The way Plexus works is their compensation plan is gonna even get better than it is, but it's amazing right now. But it is so fair and just great. y'all know how great the company is anyway. So the whole thing is we all had different timelines, a little bit varied, but from 7 years ago, you're basically doing that same thing. So that's huge, in my opinion.
And it's pouring into those people, as I think all of you guys have said it. It's pouring into those people and helping them. You know, you kind of forget about your goals. You're really concentrating on the people you're working with. So I think that,
And it looks different for everybody. You know, you can't sit there and compare your path to somebody else's path. It looks different, but the key is to just keep showing up and keep doing the thing every single day and don't quit.
yes.
Because,
Yeah.
right? That's the only way you're not getting to the top is
Right.
if you quit. That's it.
And
That's-
I want to say too, I think it takes daily affirmations for yourself. And so a couple things I've been telling my people, and they don't believe me, but I have it on my phone. Oh, it went blank. Everything is figure outable. You are enough. I will, watch me. That was from Jamie Laura. But, you know, I have it on my phone. Every time I open my phone, I am enough. I can do this. I wear a Shine Bright. Allison and I had bracelets that said passion on it. And then part of the reason I can get away with this too is because my school did the theme Shine Bright. So like everything I had was labeled with, you know, either shine bright or, you know, follow your heart. So it's the constant affirmations and telling yourself you are enough and you are more than worthy to do this and to receive this. There's somebody that needs you. And that's really what it is. If they need you, they're finding you, they're watching you. They might not be commenting and liking everything, but they do. They come to you, they message you. So just keep showing up, just keep posting, and telling yourself you can do it.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much for sharing. That was wonderful. And I'm going to tell you guys, my chat is messed up. Y'all know I'm always chiming in on chat, and it has been killing me over here as y'all are speaking to not comment on the chat and as encouraging as you guys are talking. And it warms my heart to see you guys where you are and to see all of you all showing up and listening in. So who's next? So we will see you guys. Does anybody else have any other questions? Anybody else? All right.
Can you go over the active real quick? The active special. So we're ready to sign up.
Yes, it comes out tomorrow around 11 a.m. Eastern, Kelly, 10 o'clock Central. And you can do a single pack or you can do a 3-pack combo. There's 15 sticks in each pack. So it's 3 packs plus the Turkish towel. And they are projecting it will sell out in 24 hours. So definitely let your people know tonight to be ready and set their timers for tomorrow morning. So when it goes live, they can go ahead and order.
Aim, is there a limit?
12. There's a limit, 12 bags.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Would
can
that
you
be
do
4
4
combos?
bundles?
Yes, I think so. Do y'all know that? I know it was 12 bags. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's 3 per thing,
Mm-hmm.
per group, the bundle thing.
But they have said
we have an image.
They said they have enough for everybody with those.
So
bags.
I have a question for someone that wants this. It's limited edition, so it's probably you have to shop versus trying to add it to a subscription, correct?
Yeah, it's the yes, you'll have to go and shop. You cannot add it to a subscription order.
So it's a one-time order.
Yes, it's just the one time, like the slim flavor from Christmas and like the guava.
Active. Yeah, we just got the
one-time tease.
And the package that has the blanket, that's what's going to sell out first.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you want a combo, be setting your watch.
Game on, fast fingers.
I know.
So ready for that Turkish.
I still have PTSD from December.
Oh, that was Yvonne. That was funny. I ended up with, oh my gosh, I think I spent like $1,000 for that. And Yvonne's like, I didn't get anything.
No, but remember the site kept crashing and we were all, oh my God, it was crazy. And it was midnight. Thank God they're not doing it at midnight. They listened.
I think they have everything. Like they have said they are, they are ready for this. They are ready for this. So we're gonna have faith in that.
Recommendation too, if you, last time with the star fruit agave, I added anything like that was a shop item versus something I wanted to add to my subscription. So I added some blender bottles, that kind of stuff. So it sort of saves on that shipping because it's all in one. So if anybody's like looking for a blender bottle or something like that, you can shop for those kind of items at that same time.
Right, have those in your
So.
cart already.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Good,
to
good,
know.
good idea, Kelly.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing tonight. I really appreciate it. I love hearing y'all's story, and we love having you all here with us. Oh, it warms my heart.
We love you.
She's gonna start
Oh,
Oh, good to be back.
Hi guys, thanks for
Both
sharing.
of you guys, we're happy to have you. And Susie, I hope your daddy's doing good. All righty. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Night.
Thank
Good
you,
night, Kelly.
Amy.
Good night, everybody.